Okay, so we're back with the 2000 Honda Civic. I want to see if I can finally put this no start when wet condition to rest. So basically, anytime you come out and the engine's cold and it rained or it's just really humid or wet out, the car doesn't want to start. We'll sit there and crank and crank and crank, and usually it won't fire. You can smell gas, so you know it's pumping fuel. And sometimes it will attempt to start when you're letting off the key or when you first turn the key on, kind of thing. But like when it's just sitting there and cranking, it doesn't really do much. But if you stay at it for 3 or 4 minutes, eventually you can kind of get it to fire up. Once it does finally start, you're not done yet though, because if you give it any kind of throttle input, it just wants to die. So you have to warm it up and you have to like ease really gently onto the throttle. But once it warms up, it's fine. I'm almost completely certain that it's a distributor issue, that it's getting wet and, maybe the coil or the igniter or some bullshit is, just shorting out. So, only problem is the engine's hot, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to recreate the issue, but we'll give it a shot. So I'm going to start it and lightly drizzle some water around the distributor, see if it cuts out, and we'll go from there. Alright, so let's see what happens. Oh, see that? Look at that. It just died out. So yeah, we can tell that somewhere in the general area there seems to be an issue where something over here gets wet and really doesn't like it. So as you saw, it just cut right out. Interesting. And if we go to try to start it, it probably won't start. Or if it does, it'll run like crap. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's trying. There we go, that's what we're used to. Yeah, shit like that. Okay, well, there we go. Well, we know at the very least it is in the distributor area. So somewhere all up in this John piece we've got issues. So, what I'm going to do is just replace the entire distributor. It could be the coil, it could be the igniter, it could be all kinds of stuff. And you can sit there and look and try to check and figure it all out. There's a couple videos of dudes that go through and, to show you how to figure everything out. But you can get this entire unit, the entire thing assembled, ready to go, for under $100. So screw it. This thing's got 225,000 miles on it. Sure, let's put a whole new assembly on. I don't feel like dicking around with this. It's not worth the time. So, yeah, we're just going to replace the distributor. It's held on with 3 bolts. 1, 2, and 3. We've got 1 electrical connector and our 4 wires. Very important that we remember where the wires go. I'm not sure if this one's number 1 or that one's number 1, because this is transverse, but it's opposite. Maybe this one's number 1. I don't know. But anyway, if that's number 1, we've got 1, 2, 4, 3. Does that sound about right? Okay. So yeah, as long as you remember which way the spark plug wires go on, we should be golden. All right. So this WPS World Power Systems ignition distributor, got this off Rock Auto for I think like 94, and it's literally the whole thing. The whole kit caboodle and kabang. It's pretty simple. Not a whole lot to it. And it's, completely assembled from head to toe. You get a new cap, a new rotor, new coil, igniter, distributor, all that stuff, It's hard to beat. Everything's ready to go. You just put it in. You'd be silly not to. That's the part number there. Made in China. We'll see if that gets us or not. But anyway, alright, let's start tearing into this, see how hard it is. Okay, so a few things to note. So one, when you take that bolt off, it's going to fall into oblivion if you don't catch it. I eventually saw it through a hole over here. I'm just sitting between whatever the heck that is, maybe the starter. I don't know, it's in a pocket down there. Magnets are your friend. To get this connector out, it wasn't coming out. The top part comes out of the bottom. The bottom sits on this bracket. So there's a peg here, like a little tab you have to lift up. So you lift up on the tab and pull it out. Then once it's free, then you can push this tab and separate the two. We're not done yet. So the distributor can also be indexed. I guess this is some kind of timing thing. I wasn't really paying attention to where mine was sitting, so I'll have to look back at a video. But if the ring on here tells me anything, it looks like it was sitting somewhere about there. So it looks like it's kind of in the middle. So just keep that in mind. They're 12mm bolts. They're on there, kind of good. I use 2 wrenches together to break them free. Couldn't fit a socket in there. A little WD-40 never hurt. Once you break them free, they come out real easy though. Tell you what, this isn't as fun to do on a hot engine. So now, the distributor comes out. Cool. Okay. So, the thing that we need to make sure of is that our new one matches our old one perfectly, so we can't spin that anywhere. Alright, so you notice there's a dash on one side of this. We need to make our new one align to that, otherwise our timing will be off. So something a little bit like that. Beautiful. Man, look at that. So new and shiny and not oily, drippy everywhere. It's glorious. So I guess we're going to clean up the surfaces around here and slap our new one in. Transfer the wires over and be good as gold. Alright, isn't it amazing what a little bit of brake clean can do? Cleaned off most of the grime. Just a quick spray. Doesn't have to be pretty, it's not a show car. Important part is just to make sure that our sealing surface is clean. And we're going to put just a little bit of oil on our O-rings so that they actually do something useful. Besides that, swap the wires over and bolt it back in. Easy as pie. Okay, that was piece of cake. So the only thing you really have to worry about is when you're sliding it in, you're going to have to rotate it a little bit until that shaft engages with the inside of the, I guess that's either probably the camshaft or some sprocket or whatever. But you need to make sure that this guy actually engages, otherwise it'll sit with a gap and you don't want that. You slide it and then click and it'll go right in. Install your bolts. And again, make sure that we get our general alignment. So it looks like mine was sort of in the middle, but a little bit to the right. So when we install it, we'll just clock it right about there. Should be good to go. And just like that, she's all done. So it's easy when you keep the old distributor right next to the new one and just pull an old one off, put the wire back on the new one. Follow the same order. We got our 3 bolts torqued down. I just tightened them until they felt decently tight. Not so tight I was going to strip anything or break anything. Again with the connector, plug it in first and then slide it onto the bracket. There you go. Good to go. So let's clean all this crap off. Make sure them wires are in there good. It's a little hard to hear the snaps sometimes. Alright, let's get all this crap out of here and see if she starts. Alright, let's see how she did. Wow. Okay. Somebody's happy. Holy crap. Nice. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Well, that was easy. Not bad, Honda. Not bad. Alright, let's try the water test. Does she live? I'd have to say that's a success. Excelente. Excelente. I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. And just to absolutely make sure, shut it off, key out, key in. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Nice. Cool. All right, well, we can confirm it was the distributor issue. So, yeah. Guess that's all it takes to have a cranky distributor. Maybe we'll take the cap off and just see if we see anything inside. Okay. So, issue the first. If we'll look at the top, right here, notice there's a nice, wonderful crack in there. This thing was tightened down really tight. I had to get the 8mm wrench out just to frickin' break it free. What a pain in the balls. Anyway, that should tell us quite a lot, actually. Very easy water leak source, so let's take the cap off. Alright, so we got the cap off. You can see our rotor in here. Got a little bit of a little crunchy stay in there. So that's nice. But otherwise, visually, doesn't look terribly terrible. Got an O-ring around the entire thing, but who knows how well that's doing with the cracked cap. And look in here, moisture. Yeah, remember that wonderful little bud? Look at that, you can see the water actually sitting around the two posts. Huh, what do you know? That was probably a major part of our issue. I wonder if it was something stupid like the water was just preventing the spark, but it would still, you'd think it would still attempt to start, even if it's still got two that'll work. It should still kind of fire. Anyway, we're gonna take that screw out and keep going. All right. Got the screw out. So in here, see that we got some brown, and it looks like to be a worn away area. I don't know what the heck's going on there. Some kind of contact issue. Because you can see it here. You can see the shiny part on the cover. That's really weird. Also, look at this giant crack over here. That'd be in this location. I don't know what the hell happened there. Like, seriously. Now we got some white in that area, which corresponds to the white marks there. So I guess the cover must have been wearing into the coil over here. So yeah, just weird cracks and breaks and plastic, but I mean, it's not a big deal. So, anyway. Now, on the videos I was looking at, everyone was saying, got a bit of a crack there on whatever that is. Is that the igniter? Or is that a sensor? Cam sensor? But they were saying that, like, you could see arc marks on the coil where they short out. So that's what I was expecting to find, but I'm not seeing a whole lot. We could take the coil out just for giggles, just to see what's in there, but oil leaks, man. Gross. Shit gets everywhere. Okay, so I just dug a little deeper just to see what was going on in here. Pretty interesting stuff. Looks like there's some kind of wheel or dial. The main coil itself, I'm not really seeing any issues. I don't know what their fascination is with Phillips head screws, but what a pain in the balls it is to take them out. You gotta put all your weight into it. So, yeah, I don't know. Took everything out and tried to take a good look at everything, but I don't really see any issues. So, it really does make me wonder if it was just a little humidity in the distributor cap. Just a little water, you know, on those little guys is all it took. Yeah, so if you're having issues, you know, first place to check, just pop the cap off. See if drying it out might help, but again, it happens. It would happen all the time. Every time it rains, so whatever. At least now I gotta do distributor and all that crap, so. For $100 for the entire package, it's kinda hard to beat. Alright, well that's all for now. Hopefully that fixes your problem. Fix mine!